many of U.S. trading partners, including those in the neighborhood, and this time you also mentioned about Europeans, yes, and also China, together with other Asian economies, as you mentioned, about the so-called trade deficit. So, Professor, what do you make of his approach as a geopolitical? How do you think tariffs has become such a signature?
You should look at the context, I say. And I think in part, tariffs are
something like that. But then how important it is that the two leaders to meet, to talk more in details, and also be able to establish a more comprehensive web of channels of communicating with one another.
If they meet and set the framework, you or I might.
Nonetheless, where there's an alignment of interests and where there's a pattern in the commitment, then I would say, be persistent.
You notice that the latest discussion, at least in some academic papers, talking about in Washington and elsewhere, people should look at China with the right proportion in terms of challenge, rather than overblown out proportion. Do you agree with that?
Relations with China in a more strategically advantageous place for the United States during the Cold War, but it didn't happen until Nixon visited China. And the normalization since Nixon visit take another 7 years to be realized. So it seems that there are very incremental and kind of process that has to be there, Mr. Orleans.
I think that's right. That Nixon obviously was ideally suited to make this great new big grand bargain with China because he came from the anti-communist right wing of the Republic.